Hello everyone, good day. My name is Mirabel Mmesoma Anosike, and I am going to be presenting something very spectacular on global education policy titled Advancing Purpose-Based Educational Reform Globally, a Model for Transformational Policy Leadership. Imagine a young girl in a rural area in Nigeria walking 3 miles every day just to get to school. No electricity, no internet, and barely enough textbooks. Now, imagine a boy in Singapore logging into a virtual classroom with AI tutors, interactive simulations, and instant feedbacks. These two children are living in the same century, but in different educational worlds. My question today is, how can global education policy bridge that gap? As an NGO leader, a few months ago, I visited a school and the teacher proudly asked the students, who wants to become a doctor? Hands shot up. And then she asked, who wants to become an engineer? More hands up. Then I asked, what problems do you want to solve? And I had silence in the class. It wasn't because these children lacked ambition, it was because no one had ever framed learning that way. We've built an education culture that trains for job titles, not problem solving. It's like teaching someone to row without really showing them the river. My research and my own work with children have shown me this. Without purpose, even the brightest education systems fail to prepare young people for the real world. I met a boy in Abuja, Nigeria, who loved drawing comic books. His grades were average. His teachers were worried that he was not serious. But when I asked him about the drawing, his eyes lit up. He imagined heroes teaching kids about clean water and safety. Suddenly, his art was not just about doodling, it was more of a tool for change. I believe distinctly that when we connect learning to purpose, we unlock creativity, resilience, and emotional intelligence. The very skills global education policy might overlook: agency, creative problem solving, self-directed learning. These aren't just extras, they are very essential. Now, I am reimagining a classroom where children introduce themselves by saying, I'm learning how to reduce food waste in my community. You already know what that means. Or, I am figuring out how to make my town safer for cyclists. Imagine policies that make this a norm. This is what a purpose-based curriculum can do. My purpose discovery workbook for children, written by me, was designed to help children name their values, identify their strengths, and connect them to real-world problems they care about solving before they pick a career label. I'll tell you about a teacher in Nigeria who piloted the workbook. After 4 weeks, a shy girl stood up and said, I found my voice. I now know I want to make schools safer for girls like me. That's the power of purpose. It changes the way a child sees themselves and the world. We can embed this approach into the global education policy through global curriculum exchanges, so resources aren't locked by borders. Teacher training that includes purpose-based learning, partnerships between NGO, governments, and tech companies to scale access. In conclusion, when we stop asking, what will you be, and start asking, what will you solve, we stop boxing children into titles and start unlocking their legacy. The gap between the village girl and the tech classroom boy isn't just resources, it's vision. And vision can be given to every child, everywhere, through purpose-driven learning woven into education policy. Our role as educators, leaders, founders, and policy shapers is to build that bridge. And the time to start is now. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to making greater impact together with you all bright minds seated, listening and engaging and speaking. Thank you.